Welcome to Healing the Mind's Mindful Moments. These mini-pods are designed to give you insight and to help you overcome life's challenges. Breaking free from shame and guilt, embracing self-worth and the power of seeking help. Self-worth is a deeply personal and often fragile aspect of our identity. It shapes how we see ourselves, how we interact with the world, and how we feel about our place in it. When we struggle with feeling worthless or being not good enough, it can cast a long shadow over our lives, preventing us from reaching out for support, confronting our inner demons, and taking positive action. This struggle is further compounded by feelings of guilt and shame, which can create walls of isolation that keep us from addressing the very issues that are weighing us down and need to address. In this cycle, not only do we harm ourselves, but we also risk projecting those negative feelings onto others, leading to selfish and damaging behaviours that hinder not only our growth, but also the growth of the people around us. One of the most powerful deterrents to seeking help is the belief that we are undeserving of it. When you are constantly feeling like you're worthless or not good enough, the idea of reaching out for support can feel impossible or pointless. It can feel like a recognition of weakness or a confirmation that you truly don't measure up. This limiting or core belief is rooted in shame, the feeling or perception that there is something inherently wrong with us. We may internalise these feelings, leading us to believing that seeking help is a sign of failure or that we're burdening others with our problems. But the truth is that in reality, asking for help is an act of strength, not weakness, because it requires vulnerability and courage, both of which are essential for solving your issues and giving you the freedom to grow and become happier and more successful in life. Guilt also plays a major role in blocking us from taking steps towards recovery. We may feel guilty for having problems in the first place, or guilty for not being able to handle it or solve it on our own. This guilt can lead to self-blame, where we hold ourselves responsible for every misstep, every mistake, every decision, and every moment of weakness. Instead of acknowledging that we are human, we beat ourselves up for not being perfect, even though deep down we know that in real life, perfection is really unobtainable. This usually creates an internalized sense of inadequacy, making it even more difficult to reach out to others for the support that we so desperately need. When guilt takes over, it traps us in a cycle of self-criticism, fear, and judgment, which prevents us from seeing the reality that we really are worthy of love, compassion, and understanding. Shame and guilt can also cause us to withdraw from the world around us. We might isolate ourselves because we feel alone through the fear of being judged or rejected. The more we retreat, the more disconnected we become from those who might offer the very solution we need. Feeling isolated and alone can reinforce the idea that we are unworthy of connection, as well as further fueling the negative narrative we have about ourselves. But isolation is not a solution. It's a prison of our own making. It keeps us stuck and prevents us from growing, from learning, and from enjoying all the wonderful experiences life has to offer. Even when we summon the courage to take the first step towards seeking help, our guilt and shame often creep back in, undermining our progress. There may be a moment when we feel ready to reach out, when we finally acknowledge that we need support, only to have the harsh voices of guilt and shame remind us of all the reasons we shouldn't. They whisper that we're just being dramatic, that others have it worse, or that we should be able to handle our problems and work it all out on our own. These feelings may convince us that we're overreacting, that we should be able to snap out of it or just push through. In these moments, it can be all too easy to talk ourselves out of seeking help, telling ourselves that we're fine and that things aren't that bad and tomorrow it will have all gone away. But deep down, we know these thoughts are rooted in the same cycle of negative self-talk that has been holding us back all along. In these moments that we must recognise these feelings of what they are. They're inner barriers we've built out of fear and self-doubt, not truths. Perhaps the most damaging aspect of all is the way these feelings and behaviours can be projected onto others. When we don't address our own struggles, we may unintentionally project our pain, insecurities and frustrations onto the people around us. We might lash out, becoming emotionally distant, or sabotage relationships without fully understanding why. These behaviours are not only selfish, but also hurtful, and by keeping our unresolved issues to ourselves, we make it difficult for others to understand us or connect with us in an authentic, meaningful way. The longer we deny our need for help, the more we push people away and damage our relationships. The truth is, we all have worth. We are all deserving of love, and we are all deserving of a fulfilling, happy life, and the freedom to be our best self. It's therefore crucial to acknowledge that reaching out for help is not selfish or weak, it's necessary. By addressing our issues head on and seeking the solution we need, we not only help ourselves heal, but it will also create space for healthier, more supportive relationships with those around us. Over the years, I have helped many individuals overcome guilt, shame, and mental health barriers. I provide proven strategy and SRT process to identify and change the underlying causes which create them. By recognising and transforming these obstacles, individuals can improve their mental well-being, build healthier habits, become more empowered, and live a happier and more fulfilling life. Breaking free from guilt and shame allows people to unlock their true potential and experience lasting happiness and success.